Do they not like Aaron Sorkin? That's so weird.
Well, they're 10 and 5. Well, not even 10. So I'm not 100% sure that they're like, yeah.
So together they're 15. That
I was definitely watching The West Wing as a 10-year-old.
Do they not like Aaron Sorkin?
There's repeating.
They're very into anime.
Okay.
Same thing.
Similar. Yeah.
Sorkin's like the anime of live action, is it not?
Yes.
One.
Thanks for the support, Danny.
Sports.
Just bear with me while I share these links, everybody.
Now I can't stop trying to imagine an anime written by Aaron Sorkin.
Oh gosh.
And it's crazy.
This is where we ended up.
I want to go to there though. I do.
I want to go to there.
Right?
It would just be Phoenix Wright. It would just be
Yes.
Phoenix Wright.
It would just be like a lot of walk and talks with lines in the background.
Yeah.
Sailing by.
Sorkin didn't invent the walk and talk. Shlami did.
He popularized it.
No, Shlami did. on Sorkin pieces. But it was the director. Sorkin just writes people in rooms, and then Tommy Shalami was like, "This is boring."
They should be walking down a hallway while doing this. Fair.
Okay, so the links are now available on My World on Twitter, My Entertainment World on Facebook, My TV on Facebook because we're doing TV episodes, and on my own personal Facebook if that's a thing. And also you can get it on the Zoom call if you want to share it yourself. So everybody who is not in Sports Night, could you please turn off your cameras right now? And then we'll do a roll call for Sports Night. And then during the actual reading, please turn off your mic and camera if you're not in the scene, just so that we can have it in gallery view and watch the scenes sort of so people can interact with each other. Wait until that happens. Oh, and I have to adjust my video settings for a second. So I put it back on hide non-video participants. There we go. I put it on so I could see everybody, and then I always forget to turn it back, and it's just a bunch of gray screens. Okay, so when I say your name, please both wave and say hello so that we know both your mic and camera are working. The cast of Sports Night, we're doing the pilot. Our Dana is Tessa Chernick.
Hello.
Isaac is it Basil Dowd? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
That is great. Thank you. Basil's great. Hi.
Hi, welcome. We've had this conversation before, and every time I speak to you, I'm like, Basil Dowd, right? Our Jeremy is Scott Garland.
Hi, hello.
Already doing his Molina impression. Our Natalie is Rebecca Vega Romero.
Hi. I'm sorry.
It's amazing.
She is babysitting for anyone listening. Our Dan is Danny Paget.
Hey.
Our Casey is David Armstrong. Whoa, did we lose David?
We lost David.
Oh, that's good to know. Cool. I'll do the rest of the list, and if he's not back by the end of the list, then we'll have to wait for him, because unfortunately he's the main character. Playing man / man on TV, which I believe are two different people, is Mark Crater.
Hi there.
Woman, Melissa Wright.
Hi.
Our Will is Steve Vargo.
Hello.
Who I believe is like the lighting guy for the show within the show, and I think that's funny. Playing Guy, we have Mo Kamali, who is on mute, but welcome back, Mo. I trust that your mic is working.
Everyone, I'm back.
Our Kim is Elizabeth Morris.
Hello.
Chris is Laura Hubbard.
Hello.
Elliot is Luis Fernandez.
Hi, everybody.
And JJ is Haley Donnell.
Hello.
And and here David is reconnecting now. So once we hear that his mic's working, we are all set to go. So just FYI about the stage directions, I will be reading anything that is in both bold and italics. If it is in parentheses, I won't be reading, or in just italics, no bold, I won't be reading it. So that's just something that you can act theoretically. David, can you just check your mic for us because you missed roll call?
Hey, yeah, sorry, my computer just crashed. Can you give me like 30 seconds?
We can.
Okay, thank you.
For people watching, he's playing Casey McCall. So, how's everybody doing?
Good. Theme song? 30 seconds?
Sports Night doesn't really have a theme song. It's just like a...
It's a sweet guitar riff.
Yeah. I like that everybody came in ties and everyone's wearing well, David got rid of his glasses. But I like the costumes. I approve.
My everyday face, though.
Well, we don't know that much about woman. Woman could be anybody, really.
I'm coming in hot for that one line, and I'm excited. It's talking about football. That is my jam. Like, that's all you need to know.
Guys, it's been a real pleasure this week to just watch the amount of practice that has gone. It spellbinding is. I'll warn you. It takes your breath away.
If the man on TV doesn't make his line, it's because I've knocked him out.
So just let us know when you're ready, David. Meanwhile, I'm going to read the chat.
I'm good to go. Thank you.
Oh, never mind. I'm not going to read the chat. Okay. Everyone else ready?
Sorry, chat.
Okay, cool. So, Sports Night, Season 1, Episode 1, The Pilot. Act 1, Control Room. Executive Producer Dana and the Sports Night staff prepare to go live.
Studio A, this is Master Control. You're up on router 7. Have a good show.
Will, show me Denver.
And I need 15 points of sound on Kansas City.
Denver's up.
Yes, it is. Give me Green Bay.
Standby audio. Standby VTR.
Georgia Dome's hot.
You're hot, Atlanta.
Somebody? Arrowhead, then back to Mile High. Is that how it goes?
We're live here in 60 seconds.
Somebody? Anybody?
What do you need?
Does Arrowhead
bounces to Mile High.
Thank you.
Why'd you change that?
Just to mess with your head. Get me Judy at Oakland, Alameda.
Studio, Dan and Casey at the desk.
When you get right down to it, what I'm saying is this, Case. I think you should start getting out of your house.
Dan, we're going to Arrowhead first, then to Denver.
Got it. Just out of your house.
I am out of my house. I am out of my house I've been out of my house for 6 months. I don't live at my house.
30 seconds of tape. We're coming to the studio in 90 seconds.
Control Room, Managing Editor Isaac enters.
Good evening.
Isaac Jackie's in the house. Natalie.
Yo.
We can make a feed on 43. Just make sure the guys have the change.
Casey, did you get the change on Arrowhead in Denver?
Natalie, if you shout into the microphone when I'm wearing an earpiece, it poses the question, is there a decibel level where the human head will just, explode?
Is he in a better mood than he was this morning, or is this going to be another crappy show?
Hey, Casey, Isaac wants to know if you're in a better mood.
Shut up.
Pretty crappy, yeah.
Dan, roll tape.
Good show, everybody.
We hear Dan's voice on tape as the Sports Night intro begins.
Dan, Casey, we're on you in 60 seconds.
Excuse me.
Dan's got his hand raised.
Why are we quoting high-level sources inside the Swiss Olympic Committee on Helsinki's bid for the 2010 Olympics?
What's the problem?
Helsinki's in Finland.
Really?
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
Are you sure?
Am I sure that Helsinki is in Finland? Yeah, I'm quite sure.
I thought it was in Sweden. It says unnamed Swiss Olympic officials.
Graphics, which is it, Sweden or Switzerland?
It's in Finland.
Elliot, get something up on the net.
What do you need?
We think Helsinki might be in Finland.
Yeah, we think there's a pretty good chance.
Coming live in 15.
We'll change it on the teleprompter.
Cool. So we can go out after the show. You can stay at my place, whatever you need. Whatever you need.
I'm getting a divorce. I don't need a cruise director.
Right? My foul. If we're going to say anything.
In 5, 4, 3,
On cue, Dan begins the broadcast.
Good evening, everybody from New York City. I'm Dan Rydell alongside Casey McCall. Those stories and more. Plus, we'll take you live to the locker room at Arrowhead.
All that coming up after this. You're watching Sports Night on CSC, so stick around.
We're out. Up in 60.
Yeah, in Finland, the national bird is the whooping swan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to the newsroom. The Sports Night staff prepares for the next show. Dan enters, collecting on a bet on last night's game.
Columbia 34, Colgate 3. Who owes me money? Thank you.
Hey, Jason Grissom got arrested at a strip bar in Houston last night.
It was only a matter of time.
Kim and Elliot are on it.
Kim, Elliot, Jason Grissom, what's up?
He shot 12 for 15 from the field, and then he went to the Silver Key. It's a nude nightclub.
Topless only.
Guy called him something he didn't like, and Grisham hit him with a bottle of cognac.
It was brandy.
It was cognac.
It was Cavassier.
Cavassier is cognac.
You get me the lawyer, you get me the agent, then get us Jason Grissom on the phone.
We can't get Grisham on the phone.
Yes, you can.
We're trying.
Try harder.
Dan and Casey's office. The two anchors enter their joint office.
32 points. It was a career high, and then he sends the guy to the hospital with 14 stitches. Can you imagine if he'd had a lousy game?
Dan sizes up Casey.
You come in early?
I came in early.
Did you sleep in the office?
I came in early.
You came in yesterday.
Mom?
Dan changes the subject.
Have I told you about my New York Renaissance?
Yeah, a lot. You've told me about your New York Renaissance a lot.
Natalie enters and hands the anchors a tape.
Last night's show. What's up?
Jason Grissom's free on bail. Casey slept in his office, and I am having a New York Renaissance.
Cool. Rundowns in 5 minutes.
Natalie exits. Hallway. Isaac and Dana on their way to a meeting.
I think the show's going to hell in a handbasket, and I'm ready to fire the whole bunch of you.
Yes, but you won't because we're like family here, and I'm very much like a daughter to you.
No, this is a television show here, and you're very much like an employee to me.
I gotta give Casey some slack, Isaac.
Why?
Why do I have to give him some slack?
That's the question. If you can't tell me, I can't tell the network.
Isaac.
What? Is there something going on between the two of you?
Absolutely not.
Then why?
Because I owe it to him, that's why. We all do. He's having some personal problems.
Oh, I know all about his problems. You know, the network knows about his problems too, as a result of which they become my problems. And I'm saying at the very most, I want them to be your problems.
Got it.
Do you?
Yes.
Good.
Conference room. The whole staff gathers for a rundown meeting.
It's a genuine renaissance, Casey. I have lived in New York my whole life. This is the time I should be sick of it, but I'm not.
Because you're having a renaissance?
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
So how do we avoid these Helsinki mishaps in the future?
We've been shorthanded since Phil and Michael left.
Well, hire somebody.
Natalie's been interviewing some people for an associate producer position, and I'm meeting her finalists this afternoon.
You guys, he is so totally cute and intense, with a dark mystery about him that says, this is not a technician, this is an artist.
Well, before you hire him, can you make sure he can find Finland on a map?
You know what, Isaac? Maybe let that go.
The Metropolitan Opera under the baton of Mr. James Levine.
What is he talking about?
His New York Renaissance.
You want to hear about it?
No.
Good. Quickly now, talk to me. 7 through 17. We got the world whip around with what?
Lambeau, 3Com, and Foxborough. Casey's got Tampa Bay and the mighty Bengals of Cincinnati.
What's in Cincinnati?
Well, the mighty Bengals, for one thing.
They're going to cut Centauri.
The place kicker?
He's made 8 field goal attempts in the last 3 games and has connected on a grand total of none of them.
I've met him. He's a good guy.
Can't kick.
He is a good guy.
He can't kick.
He'll get picked up by another team.
No, he won't. You know why?
Why?
Because he can't kick.
All right, commercial 1, then to the dugout report.
I saw him kick at practice.
At this level, they pretty much want you to be able to kick in the game.
Moving on from center ice.
I once kicked a 12-yard field goal in gym class.
Well, then you should get yourself a tryout for the mighty Bengals of Cincinnati.
Excuse me, if anyone needs me, I'm going to be hurling myself out the window.
Plaza Hotel, Oak Bar, Dry Martini, New York at night, my friend. This city never sleeps.
Commercial 2, then on to segment 24.
A network executive named JJ interrupts Dana.
You're on mute.
Actually, I'd like to go back to number 23 if nobody minds.
Any chance we can do that a little later? I want to move this along.
Yeah, the network would like me to address this now.
JJ, Dana's the producer. We like to give her the impression that she's in charge.
It's just that we're a little short on time. Segment 24.
I have some concerns with segment 23.
Is this you or the network?
In these meetings, Casey, mine is the voice of the network.
Wow, JJ.
What are your concerns?
Who is this Insaki Nelson, and why are you doing 3 minutes and 20-second feature on him?
Natalie.
Nsaki Nelson's a South African distance runner, 15,000 meters. As a school teacher in Jamestown, he led protests against the white majority.
Well, that's swell, folks, but I have...
He was beaten up and thrown in jail. Both of his legs were broken, and the doctor said he'd never walk without a cane. He's 41 years old, and guess what he's doing tonight?
It doesn't matter because I've already changed the channel.
He's running in the World Pacific Games, an event this network is carrying live at 9 p.m. The Nsaki Nelson feature is promoting.
Look, I'm happy that you guys are spotlighting other programming, but we can't find a good-looking 22-year-old American who might actually win.
Well, if you find him, send him over to my place. But in the meantime...
Look, I have a ratings book on my desk that's very instructive. Now, it says that our key demographics, including 11 to 17-year-olds who watch our morning rerun over breakfast, do not want to see features on 41-year-old politically oppressed third world distance runners. Now, they're instructing us, and I think it's a good idea that we listen.
I've got Jason Grisham on the phone. JJ, Danny and I have hosted shows in the 5th and 3rd largest markets in this country, and we have received awards for journalistic excellence. I prefer not to take my instructions from 11-year-olds. And the next time you sit in on one of our meetings and I hear the voice of the network come out of your mouth, I'm going to put my foot on your throat.
AC exits.
You ever ride the subway all day long? I mean, just for the fun of it.
Natalie, Kim, Elliot, everybody else, you want to step outside as well, please?
Go ahead.
Everyone exits.
I would like to apologize for Casey's performance during these meetings.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about Casey's performance during these meetings lately.
Well, I appreciate your understanding.
I'm concerned with Casey's performance on air lately.
What's your point?
My point is at the moment, Casey has less on-air charisma than my high school driving instructor, and you know it, Danny. Now, I think the time has come for you to think about the possibility of another partner.
Well, I'm not going to do the show with your high school driving instructor, JJ, if that's what you're asking me, okay?
Well, who will you do the show with?
I'll do the show with Casey.
You have a very big future at this network.
My future is writing and anchoring a sports show with my partner, Casey McCall. Now, if it's here, it's here. If it's not, it is someplace else. For now, I'm going to forget this conversation ever took place. Dana, Isaac, you guys need me?
No thanks, Dan. You're done.
Dan exits.
Really gotta admire the way you manhandled my staff this morning, JJ.
Look, Isaac, I have a specific...
Look, don't take me on.
The network's not going to wait forever.
JJ exits.
It's your call, Dana, but pretty soon it's going to be my call. Because here's the thing, I can't let it be their call.
Isaac exits.
Yeah.
Act 3, the newsroom.
You can put a Tonka truck on Mars and send me pictures, but I can't get a decent satellite from Buenos Aires?
Excuse me, ma'am? That's probably because of a high pressure system building up around 32 degrees south latitude. It'll blow by in 2 hours.
There's weather in outer space?
No, ma'am. But I think you're leasing time on the East Tech Keyhole satellite, and their signal gets cleared through a tracking station in Mexico City.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is that I can't... Who is this?
Jeremy, jump, take your hand.
I am Jeremy Goodwin.
Oh, you're here for the associate producer job.
Yes, and let me just say, it is an extraordinary honor to even be asked.
I'm not ready for you yet.
I'll sit right here.
23 degrees latitude?
South latitude.
Ah, I get them mixed up.
Common mistake.
Dan in Casey's office. Casey's at his computer. Dana enters.
Hey.
Casey.
Listen, I need you to take 30 seconds of the NFL injury report and give it to me on the intro for the ACC recruiting violations.
Fine.
Thanks.
You're screwing up my show, Casey.
Keep the 30 seconds.
That's not what I mean.
I know. I was joking.
I know you're joking.
Yeah, I could tell by the way you didn't laugh at all at what I said.
That's because I'm mad at you, and also it wasn't that funny.
Dana, did you come in here to give me a pep talk? Because if you came in here to give me a pep talk, can we just assume that it happened already and that it worked and that I'm peppy?
Casey, sit down.
Casey sits.
Now, I know you think that there are 250 other people in this business.
No, I don't think there are 230 other people in this business
who can produce this show. Yes,
who can
you
produce
do.
this show.
And whether or not you're right or whether you're wrong, I'm the only one who has this job, and I love it. I love producing Sports Night. I live from 11 to midnight, and the rush is so huge, I don't come down until 3 o'clock in the morning. I love doing Sports Night, and you used to too. Now, I came in to tell you that it looks like Cleveland's got to go to a 4-man rotation for the stretch drive. I came in to tell you that it looks like segment 16 through 21 might have to get condensed for a possible story coming out of South Bend. But mostly, I came to tell you you're screwing up my show.
Dana exits, already moving on to other things.
Natalie.
Newsroom, continuous.
Yo.
Let's meet your guy.
Natalie leads Dana over to where Jeremy is waiting.
Jeremy, this is Dana Whitaker.
We've met.
Yes.
You have an impressive resume. Let me ask you some questions.
You look nervous.
I'm okay.
Would you like a glass of water?
No, thank you.
Soft drink, we have Fresca.
If you're taking orders, I'll have the angel hair pasta and a nice Merlot. I know, can we just interview the man?
I'm just trying to make him comfortable.
A little professionalism is all I'm saying.
I can come back later.
What are your favorite sports?
Back down.
Beg your pardon?
Where are you strongest?
Oh, football.
Let's talk about basketball.
I said football.
I heard you. Let's talk about basketball.
We could talk about baseball or hockey.
Oh, you're pretty strong in baseball and hockey, are you?
Not as strong as football, but...
Good. Let's talk about the Knicks.
I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Well, I left the door wide open for you.
Shot of bourbon.
Please.
Sit.
Natalie sits.
I'm sorry, that was harsh. I hurt your feelings. Name 3 things the Knicks need to do to do this season to make it to the finals.
I couldn't get another question.
You will, but not until I hear the answer to this one.
What do the Knicks...
3 things the Knicks need to do to contend.
Miss Whitaker, I would be great at this job. You gotta believe me when I say I've been training my whole life for it. I've crunched stats. I've broken down film, and there wasn't a team at my high school that didn't have me as an equipment manager. I have read every box score in every newspaper that's printed in English and has a sports section, and I have seen Sports Night every night since your first broadcast 2 years, 2 months, and a week ago today. Now, yes? Sure. Indeed. I can tell you what Ewing and Oakley are shooting from the field, and that you're not going to stop John Starks if he squares up to the basket and put any defense pressure on Charles Ward. He's going to fold like a cheap card table. But if you're asking me for genuinely sophisticated analysis, and I sense that you are, you got to give me some time. At least 20 minutes. Did that make any sense?
I wasn't really listening.
Oh, God.
Jeremy, this is television. Things happen. If you want to work here, you got to not spontaneously wig out.
Not till an hour before airtime.
Name. Oh, sorry.
Right. The Knicks.
Name 3 things.
Improve their free throw percentage.
Yes.
Run the floor.
Okay, one more.
Tell Spike Lee to sit down and shut up.
Well, welcome to Sports Night.
Studio, Dan and Casey at the desk reading through the script.
Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, and Rusty Wallace were just a few of the big name racers that NASCAR had on hand yesterday at the Darlington Motor Speedway.
Yesterday Speedway?
What's the problem?
You don't want to rhyme. Got to move yesterday to the second sentence.
Dan makes a note in his script and starts reading again.
Just a few of the big name drivers NASCAR had on hand at the Darlington Motor Speedway. The press event held yesterday was to announce that...
Hey, we need to talk.
What's up?
Well, I've been thinking about this for a while. I want you to know that I've given this some thought.
Oh, I think yesterday has to go in the first sentence, and I'll tell you why.
I've been thinking about leaving the show.
For how long?
I've been thinking about it for a while now.
No, I didn't ask how long you'd been thinking about leaving the show. I was asking how long you were thinking of leaving the show for.
For good.
You get an offer?
No, I didn't get an offer, Danny. I'm not doing another show. I'm thinking about getting out of sports.
Why?
Look, I'm just tired of it all right?
Tired of what?
But first, this. Sacramento power forward Jason Grissom was released by a judge this morning after posting a $5,000 bond, which, by the way, he paid in cash he happened to have in his pocket.
So Jason Grissom's a jackass. You know Jason Grissom.
Look, I got into this because people like sports, and I've turned into a PR man for punks and thugs. Now any atrocity, no matter how ridiculous or hideous or childish, it doesn't matter. I make it sports. 10-cent bag man whacks a skater's leg with a crowbar. That's sports. 10-cent second round draft pick gets cranky in a Houston bar, and that's sports. And let's not forget the mother of all great sports stories, a double homicide in Brentwood.
If you want to talk, I'm all for it. Really, I am. But let's talk about what you really need to talk about, okay? The moral decay in American sports isn't the problem here, all right?
It is the problem. Look, I have a 7-year-old son that I get to see on Wednesday and alternate weekends, and these are his heroes. And now 6 days a week, they're also his male role models.
Well, quitting your job ought to do the trick.
Look, Danny, I know I'm leaving you in the lurch.
No, I meant it. You should definitely quit your job because that way sports will be good again. And your wife, she'll take you back and you can be a role model for your son, knowing as we do how women and children admire the bitter and unemployed. Are you mental?
I'll see you at airtime.
Casey starts to leave.
Yeah, one thing you definitely don't want to do is talk to your friends. You wouldn't want to do that.
Hey, I know you're pissed, and that's fine, but canning the sarcasm wouldn't be out of line.
Fine and line, rhyme. I move the fine to the second sentence.
Danny, you're going to find another partner. Anyone would kill to do this show with you.
I've been here every day, Casey. Every day. And I've kept my mouth shut because that's what you asked me to do. But if you had asked me, I would have told you that Lisa is an angry, unhappy, punishing woman, and that in 10 years, there's never been a single moment that has suggested to me that she has any affection for you at all. And I have no patience for people like that. Now, the people here, they like you. Isaac, Natalie, Kim, Elliot. I don't know who this new guy Jeremy is, but he seems to like you just fine. Have you ever noticed that Dana's been keeping JJ and the network away from you with a whip and a chair? Have you noticed that she's been risking her job for you every day? And do you really think, my friend, it has much to do with your talent? These are people who like you.
Kim runs in from the hall. The guys ignore her.
Guys.
And know what you've been going through for 3 months now.
Guys.
You've shown us nothing but the back of your hand. And now you're going to show us the door? Well, excuse me, all right? But the wisdom of your decision isn't entirely clear to me here.
Excuse me, fellas.
Yeah, I'm pissed. And you know what? I'm tired of it.
Dan, Casey.
What?
There's something going on you're going to want to see. Come on.
Kim runs out of the studio. Dan and Casey follow. Newsroom continuous. The staff is gathered around a television watching a race.
Hey, what's going on?
Check it out.
Oh, we need audio.
That time can't be right. Danny, can that time be right?
Absolutely crazy. With 900 meters left, this 41-year-old, Tozak Nelson, is on pace to absolutely shatter the world record.
Go ahead on, old man.
Is he going to do this?
Does it look like he's planning on slowing down?
The staff cheers as Casey runs into the conference room and grabs a phone.
Lisa, it's me. I'm sorry. I need you to do something for me. I need you to wake up Charlie and give him the phone for a second. Because I need you to. Charlie? Hey, it's Dad. Hey, did you finish all your homework? Good. Now turn on your TV. Turn on to my channel. I want you to watch this. This guy's name is Ntozake Nelson. I'll call you tomorrow and I'll tell you all about it. But for now, you just watch him run. Because he's not doing much, but he's running faster than any man's ever run before. I'm going to be on air in about 12 minutes. And if Mom says it's okay, you can watch the beginning of the show. And then I'm going to give you that special signal. And that means you have to turn off your TV and go to sleep. I love you too, Charlie.
Back in the newsroom, Dana is gearing up for the show.
Listen up. They're going to bounce to us for a 15-second promo at the end of the race. Natalie, get the first team in the studio.
Kim, Elliot, let's go.
I need graphics.
We need Casey.
Okay, got it.
I'll take care of him. You okay?
Absolutely.
Get to work.
Absolutely.
Studio/control room. The staff is in place, ready to go live.
It's a 15-second teaser. Dan, do you need copy?
Is the opening Lakers Sonics?
Lakers, Sonics, Pistons, Heat.
I'll take it.
You want it?
It's not that my teasers are better than yours, Danny. It's that yours are vastly inferior to mine.
I'm new here, so if I'm in your way, you just let me know. No!
He tries to sit.
Problem.
Daniel.
Broadcast.
What?
You were right. I was wrong. It won't happen again.
15 seconds.
Want to do something tonight after the show?
Yeah, I was going to ride the Staten Island ferry for a while. Have a hot dog. You want to come?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you why. Because it's 17 degrees outside with the wind chill. So what I want to do is stand on a boat in the middle of New York Harbor past midnight.
You got a better idea?
Well, we could go to a bar, find some people we don't like, and beat the crap out of them.
Dan and Casey, high five.
Heads up.
In 3, 2.
I'm Casey McCall alongside Dan Rydell, Lakers Sonics Pistons Heat. And guess what? Ntozake Nelson's got something to say about a world record. Seeing is believing.
Back.
Coming at the top of the hour, you'll be glad you did.
And we're out.
We're up in 9 minutes.
Dana, could you come here for a second?
Do you have any idea how to spell Ntozake?
Will shakes his head. Dana leaves the control room to talk to Casey.
What do you want?
I want you to come here.
What?
No one can produce this show but you.
They hug. Dana wipes her cheek.
You have 9 minutes. Someone get him a new shirt.
What's wrong with my shirt?
You got my mascara on your collar. Natalie?
Yeah?
Get someone on the phone. I want to make sure there aren't going to be any mistakes. I'm nervous about the satellite feed from Buenos Aires.
Sure.
Natalie?
Yeah?
Argentina?
All right.
Natalie? Double check that.
Casey rejoins Dan at the desk.
You know what? Here's something I don't understand about rugby.
Oh, you do understand something about rugby?
I played rugby, all right? Now, I want to ask you a question.
Wait. When have you played rugby?
When I was in college, I played co-ed rugby.
You did not play rugby.
I did play rugby. Now, I want to ask you a question.
Roll credits. Guys, I loved that.
Yeah. Sorkin.
Sorkin at his most delightful.
Oh, it made me so happy.
But did it work without the forced laugh track, Kelly?
It was so much better. It was like Sports Night, but without the convicted felon and like with no sound laugh track. And like there were so many good things going for it.
It's great.
Yay.
Amazing.
Definitely moves fast.
Yeah, it's already done. So 7:39 now, we will start newsroom at 7:45. If anybody needs to go take a break, we will not stop the recording and the YouTube. So just so you know, you're still on the internet.
So let's hear some people's controversial opinions about the West Bank. Go.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Here, I foolishly thought you were
I
gonna.
gotta go flip a duck.
You heard it here first, folks. Danny Pageant, no respect for duck.
A deeply Danny Patrick thing to say right there. Guys, you should all watch Sports Night. It's my favorite thing. It's so
Go
wonderful.
over here and listen to Mark and I talk about sports too, just as an alternative. We're probably less quippy, but
Definitely less quippy. And
Is that an option?
Yeah, I have if you go to the My Entertainment World podcast feed, there is a podcast where Melissa is on one with Lou and my friend Mac. And then there's another one.
Remember?
Sorry, what?
Lou couldn't make it. It was just Mac and I.
Oh, yeah. And Lou's on the one from the previous year with Alex Paxton Beasley and Mac.
And Mac, yeah.
So, yeah, you should listen to those. Those are some of my favorite things we've ever published about the Blue Jays seasons quite a few years ago now.
Also, they're destroying the Rogers Center.
It's not confirmed.
They're doing it.
News.
They're doing it.
Don't listen to Mark. He's just.
I'm dreading it that they're supposed to. They may be considering Right by Me as a relocation spot, and that I don't want that.
Oh, I didn't realize that they were relocating. I thought they were
after the games when they're.
The thing that I saw in the news was that they were looking to demolish it and then build it smaller, but with condos right beside it.
Like a
But
whole.
if that didn't work, then they would just turn the whole thing into condos and relocate the stadium over to a lakeshore location, which I did a little further research on. And yeah.
Whoa. You're telling me they want to build condos?
Shocking, I know. Shocking.
Okay, a
There's
very,
enough
a
down
very
here.
serious question. Do you think they think that if they build it, people will come?
Indeed, they do, Mark.
What did you just say, Mark? Say it again. I didn't hear it, but also say it again.
Dreams quote, like the fool that he is.
I got so much joy out of that.
Mark, this is the cleanest shaved I've ever seen you.
I hate it. I hate it. So it was an accident. I didn't mean to go this far. And then I was there.
Every once in a while, he likes to remind me that I'm a cradle robber. So welcome to Mark Crater at 17.
Hi, guys. Nice to meet everyone. It's fun to be here.
And how does that feel for you, Melissa, to know that you're a cradle robber? Like, does he do it to empower you? Like, do you feel good about this?
I don't know. I don't think it's like.
I mean, every time I say that I'm going to shave, she has to say goodbye to my beard. And she has like a ritual and she touches it. It's weird.
It's weird.
Thanks for sharing it on the live.
Yeah, like you guys do remember you're being recorded, right? I think you do remember.
So awkward.
Choice.
Cool. Is it hot in here or is it just me?
The world now knows. Welcome to Intermission with Mark and Mel.
I love seeing the costume changes. Like Charlie Skinner, Steve just has transformed.
I've never seen you wear a suit.
Years old.
I don't really have suits.
This is your one?
Is
This
this
is
the
like a-
origin of a suit?
It looks like a suit. I'm just kidding.
Sorkin has really showcased everybody's suits. We've got Lou had his suit last in Farnsworth Invention. We had a bunch of suits for West Wing. Shay's got the suit game down. She's playing
My
Marsha
temporary one.
Yeah, no.
Now that I have
we can
dressed
all
up,
agree.
I'm gonna learn to make blazers for myself.
We can all agree that Shay is dominating us all every moment of every day of these. Laura has dramatically changed from her one line as a roadie to.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to put that's going to be just my Sorkin shirt for a while. The blue thing. I'm going to put it back on my Rob Lowe.
There's only one left, and it's like a military court, so that's different.
Yeah, I can't just wear a 90s like. I'm gonna shut up. I made a thing. It's like a pumpkin ooey gooey bar. It's good.
Did you bring enough for all of us?
Yeah, I will attach it as a file, and that will just do wonderful things to everyone's computer. This is a great conversation. Someone else should take
Well,
over this.
speaking of baking, for all my fellow Americans, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh yes, it was good. It was we had duck. It was small, like three of us.
Yeah,
but it was
finding
good.
the alternative for a big turkey. I had to go hunting and find some turkey breasts, and then I made like a fancier turkey breast to try and have something.
I'm seeing the Elmer Fudd hat.
Hunting wabbits.
But yeah, no, it was.
You wabbit.
I mean, it's food. It's Thanksgiving. It's
Thanksgiving. Shay, you do both Thanksgivings?
Yeah.
I find it too much. I find that my birthday is December 7th and then Christmas.
Not too much. No. to get to.
I don't need any more celebration. I'm tired.
But also,
You're tired of celebrating?
I cannot do without my November one, because that is the start of like I won't touch anything Christmas with a 10-foot pole until after it's done.
Right.
So I'm not gonna ignore that. And having like I'm here, I'll participate, but the having the Canadian Thanksgiving before Halloween destroys my brain in so many ways. It's just like my soul dies a little more every time.
It's too much. It's Thanksgiving, Halloween, Thanksgiving, my birthday, Christmas.
Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then December holidays feels like the natural sequence for me. And jumping from Halloween.
I have
if I
to
had
say-
one criticism
I have
for
to jump in and
2020,
say, I cracked this year because of the pandemic, and I started listening to Christmas music
Oh no.
November
Not
1st.
not
I
yet.
have more.
I have
this
fully
year
memorized like an
than any other.
entire songbook on ukulele.
Oh,
Amazing.
I've lost my Christmas mind.
Please bring the ukulele to one of these reads.
Josh definitely broke out the Charlie Brown Christmas music songbook that I got him a while ago, the second that Thanksgiving dinner was over.
I am a sucker for that one.
Okay,
To
Dan is
reenact
back.
that-
So
oh.
does anybody, the people who don't have, who do have video, or you can see the people who don't have their videos turned on, is Mo here? He's the only person I'm missing on the.
Well, Mo's here, but his video's not on, and he's muted.
Do we think that Mo can hear us?
I think he's AFK. Let's talk about him.
Well, we can only say glowing things about Mo. He's Mo.
Yeah.
I
He's just so handsome.
He's awesome.
Also, Mo, New York Giants fan, happy about that. We have a sports team in common.
Well, yeah, he's a Yankee fan. It's worth saying about him.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't like that, but
Yeah, it's upsetting. Aren't the Giants really bad? Isn't that a thing?
100%. Yeah.
Our entire division is just atrocious.
It's not good.
Great,
Oh,
but
God.
you ride or die with your team, and believe me, they are killing me weekly. So
We're Toronto fans. We're used to riding.
Play killing me.
Okay, and on that note, let's do let's do our roll call for the newsroom. So same thing as always, wave and say hello when I say your name so we know your mic and camera are working. When you're not in the scene, please turn your camera and your mic off so that we can watch the whole thing in gallery mode. Okay, the newsroom, the episode we're doing is the first episode of season 2. It's called First Thing We Do, Let's Kill All the Lawyers, which is a Shakespeare quote. So our Will McAvoy, Christopher Prentice.
Bueno.
Who, by the way, formatted and edited this entire script that we found online in the form of a terrible transcript that had no character names. So everybody say thank you to Chris for the amazing amount of work to make this happen.
You will.
Chris. Snaps, all the
Thank
snaps.
you.
Our Mackenzie McHale, who is not British, is Gabby Grice.
Hi.
Rebecca, Jalen McFall.
Oh.
Maggie is Melissa Wright.
hello.
And Jim is Mark Crater.
Hey.
Charlie, Steve Vargo.
Hello.
Sloan Sabbath, Saya Floyd.
Hello.
Don is Luis Fernandez. I always want to say Louis.
Louis is fine. Hello.
Jerry Dantan is played by David Armstrong.
Hey.
Neil is Mo Kamali.
Yes, he is.
Shelly/Joey is Laura Hubbard.
Hello.
West/voice/Joel is Haley Donnell.
Howdy.
Reese/Washington/John is Danny Paget.
Hey.
Leona/Doorguard/Shannon, Elizabeth Morris.
Hello.
That's Jane Fonda's role right there. That's a big deal.
Ooh.
Ross/Herb/Martin, Marlo Shaw.
Hi.
Ken, Jenna, Kendra, Tamara, and Taya, Rebecca Vega Romero.
Wish me luck.
That's a lot of things to keep track of. Cameron/Ryan, Gary, and Cochran, Basil Dowd.
Hey, hey.
And our Mark, Jake, and Tess is played by Tessa Chernick.
You bet.
Okay. So, everybody's ready. Let's start. The newsroom. The first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. Fade in. Interior conference room. Will sits across from 4 people.
If Ben Ferrosho hadn't broken his ankle, if Jim Harper hadn't gone to New Hampshire to cover for him, if Jerry Dantana hadn't been brought up from DC to cover for Jim, if Mike Tapley had been used on the panel instead of Cyrus West, do you think that he would...
Genoa.
Say again?
The name of the black op was Genoa, not Geneva. It's a kind of a jib or foresail on a boat.
Did I say Geneva?
No, but Matt typed it in his notes just now.
Mark, and he's right, I did.
How did you know that?
Well, I don't like to talk about it, but I know things. Ever since I was a boy, people have called it a gift, but it's really more of a burden.
You want to stop screwing around?
I can see his fingers on the keyboard. He typed Geneva. We work in television. There's no reason we can't have jokes.
You work in television. I'm a litigator with Lowell Tiller.
Genuflect when you say that.
And there are a lot of reasons we can't have jokes. Should I list them? You went on the air with a story that alleged the US
It was a mistake.
used nerve gas during an operation, which is
On
a
the
war
enemy.
crime.
We had 2 eyewitnesses and a 3-star general.
And a doctored interview and a producer who says
A
that
doctored
the
interview,
fired
that's why
with the
we
Pentagon
fired him.
to cover up Operation Geneva.
Genoa.
Fuck me.
Well, would one of you please fuck Miss Halliday?
That was a little funny.
Finally.
Did you take calls from the DOD asking you not to run the story?
Well, that happens all the time.
The entire population of the Pensacola Minimum Security Prison is people who did things that happen all the time.
We ran the story.
Then you retracted it.
Of course we retracted it.
At the urging of the DOD.
Absolutely not.
Knock at the door. Maggie's in the doorway.
Excuse me?
Come on in.
Maggie enters and goes to Will.
Maggie Jordan, this is Rebecca Halliday, our lawyer. These are her associates, Bob, Tom, and Kurt.
Ross Geller. Mark Gage.
Ken Weinrob.
What do you got?
Looks like Romney's going to add an event in Charlotte at 8. He's going to go on around 8:15.
We'll cut in if he's saying something. Otherwise, we'll stay with Sandy.
Got it.
Will watches as Maggie exits. Ross hands Rebecca a file.
Maggie Jordan is Margaret Jordan?
Yeah,
What happened to her hair?
I don't know. Women try things.
What the hell happened to her hair?
Look, she went out on a story. She went to Uganda. It got real very fast, and she came back a little messed up.
Well, if this goes on to the next level, she better get unmessed up in a hurry because she's a character witness and she looks like a girl with the dragon tattoo.
Counsel, if what happened to her happened to you, you'd kill yourself for the rest of your life. You'd sit in the middle of a room and cry forever.
A year ago, she looked like this. Now she looks like that. What happened to her in Africa?
It doesn't matter.
Can I decide that?
I'm her lawyer.
I'm her lawyer and your lawyer and Mackenzie's and everybody's. And if you don't let me do my job...
You're gonna do what? Jump
Lose.
up really high in the air and swat my chin? I have the confidence of a tall man.
Lose. I was going to say lose. And no one responsible for Genoa will ever work again, including and especially the anchor and executive producer of the broadcast. If Jim Harper hadn't gone to...
No.
Let me finish the question.
We don't have time for that. No. If Jim hadn't gone to New Hampshire, if Dantana hadn't come up to cover for him, if West hadn't been on the drone panel, if 17 different things hadn't conspired in just the right order, we wouldn't be sitting here.
14 months ago, you went on the air and called the Tea Party the American Taliban.
I did.
And?
The Taliban resented it.
14 months ago, you went on... We're starting at the beginning. 14 months ago, you went on the air and called the Tea Party the American Taliban.
Yeah.
What happened then?
A lot.
For starters?
The president of AWM got kicked out of the Capitol building.
Interior Capitol hallway. A meeting is being prepared. Reese approaches the room.
Have they started yet?
No, sir.
I was at the Jefferson. I couldn't get a cab.
You can pick up your ID right there.
There's supposed to be a card for me. I don't see my ID here. Reese Lansing, AWM.
I don't see your name, sir.
Lansing. Reese Lansing.
I don't have a Lansing here.
Maybe there's a typo. Can you look under...
Everyone is accounted for.
This is a judiciary... Yeah. I see people I know there. It's okay. I'm the president of AWM.
I can't let you in without ID.
Who do I speak to?
About what?
About getting in the door.
Me.
I honestly don't want to be rude, but you're the man with the clipboard, and I need to speak to the chairman or ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee.
And what's standing in between you and doing that?
You.
Guard nods. The meeting room doors are closed.
Okay.
Reese walks off angrily, punches his briefcase. Interior, Leona's office.
No, it wasn't an oversight. It was deliberate. Those two words are antonyms.
Are you telling me
Who would have thought that calling Tea Party congressmen the American Taliban would have consequences?
Are you saying
There was absolutely no way to see this coming.
the consequence was that you were left off of a guest list?
For SOPA, not the Met Gala.
It almost seems like when we called them the American Taliban, they minded.
Stop. Are you telling me AWM was left out of a meeting with the U.S. House of Representatives because of the show last week?
Oh, don't be silly. Wait, yes, that is exactly what we're telling you. Do you know how much we lose every year to piracy?
No.
No? Me neither. It could be 10 billion, could be 100 billion. Let's just assume it's 10 billion.
Okay.
I want the 10 billion. We own intellectual property, and I want the fucking pajama people to stop stealing it.
Let's try to get to the bottom of exactly why they minded being called the American Taliban, because I don't get it.
Is your suit mildewing?
Yes, it is.
AWM doesn't just create content. We own the physical lines and ISPs that bring it to you.
SOPA would allow you to sue us just for pointing you toward a bootleg Chili Peppers track.
Doesn't that screw you on both ends?
Yeah, that's sort of why we wanted to help write the law.
But 3 members of the Judiciary Committee ran and won with Tea Party support.
And kicked AWM out of the country?
Yep.
They misinterpreted the Taliban comparison and heard it as some kind of, I don't know, insult or whatever.
You know, when he said it 2 weeks ago, I smiled. I thought, let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm thinking now?
I don't.
Chips are falling.
She exits. Charlie watches.
People are mad at him, Charlie. They're going to be mad at you too.
Fuck them. I don't know.
Rebels just took Tripoli.
He exits, leaving Charlie lost in thought. Then
Wait, what?
interior studio/control room. Will is in the studio giving a broadcast. Mackenzie is in the control room with the production team.
When roughly 9 hours ago, rebel forces swarmed the Bab al-Azizia, Muammar Gaddafi's compound, and less a presidential palace than a military fortress and the symbol of his reign.
Title, August 23rd, 2011.
After a siege of several hours and an extended gun and mortar battle, Gaddafi's compound fell. And while there's celebration in the streets, no one at this hour knows the whereabouts of the now-deposed strongman who ruled Libya for 42 years. We go live to ACN Shannon Hamid, who is standing outside the compound just south of Tripoli's city center, where it's a few minutes after 2 a.m. Shannon.
Go 6. Ready? SOT 1.
Shannon appears on the monitor.
Will, this is a jubilant day in Libya. While there remain a few isolated patches of fighting in the Gaddafi loyalist suburbs, the gunfire that you hear is largely celebratory.
SOT 1.
You can see some of the rebels on their way to the compound.
45 back.
Jim comes into the control room.
We got to pull the Strauss-Kahn package.
Why?
We blew the fact check. We say the French police charged him with attempted rape. The French police are investigating him for attempted rape.
We push play on that package in 90 seconds.
Is it on camera or VO?
VO.
Show it to me. 16, get Ryan on the phone. Use a landline. Jake, let's go.
15 seconds, live.
16's up.
Play it.
Package goes in 60.
Did you know that in 91, 20 Kuwaitis died after being hit by falling bullets while celebrating the end of the Cold War?
I didn't.
Law of averages caught up to them.
Yeah.
Jim dials the phone.
118 people treated at a Los Angeles hospital for injuries sustained from random falling.
Shut up!
Copy that.
Right there.
In 3, 2.
It's a cue.
Shannon, at this hour, do the rebels know anything about where Colonel Gaddafi might be?
Well, that's their frustration, Will. He's vanished.
Answer the phone.
But he's believed to still be in Tripoli.
Nobody knows for sure.
Ryan, hey, it's Jim. I'm putting you on the speaker at New York Control.
He clicks a speakerphone.
Play it.
What's going on?
Where are you?
Benihana with my kids?
Get to a quiet place. Hurry.
30 seconds.
Play it for me.
Jake plays the package.
But there's more trouble ahead for the French diplomat. Strauss-Kahn still faces a civil suit here in New York, And in an unrelated case, French police have charged them with the attempted rape of writer Tristan Bannon in 2003.
Ryan,
Over the phone, we hear a crash and a scream.
you there?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Say are investigating charges of attempted rape brought by.
Are investigating charges of attempted rape brought by...
2/10 over.
A little faster on my cue. Say it like a phrase. Stand by.
Mead, reporting live on this historic day from Tripoli. Turning now to Dominique Strauss-Kahn. Today, New York Supreme Court Judge Michael Obis dismissed all charges against the former IMF chief after prosecution cited problems with the accuser's credibility.
Roll 16.
Ryan Franklin was in the courtroom
my
today
cue, Ryan.
and has this report.
On the monitor, we see Ryan's report.
A smiling and visibly relieved Dominique Strauss-Kahn walked out of the courtroom a free man today, more than 3 months after the former head of the International Monetary Fund was arrested and charged with sexual assault. But there's more trouble ahead for the French diplomat. Strauss-Kahn still faces a civil suit here in New York. And in an unrelated case, French police
Jake presses a button.
are investigating charges of attempted rape brought by
Jake presses the button again.
writer Tristan Bannon in 2003. In addition, despite the Manhattan district,
Applause in the control room. They did it.
Go back to your kids.
55 back.
This graphic isn't loading.
What?
G9 isn't loading.
Yeah, I've got a switcher problem.
Are you kidding?
None of the shit. I'm losing the board.
Stay cool.
We've got to reboot.
All the monitors go on the frick.
Oh, there go the monitors.
We've got great. Is the mainframe down?
The whole board's down.
7 a.m. waking up in the morning. Gotta be fresh, gotta go down.
Listen up. We're going to bypass the switcher. Hard patch the camera output to the 1x10.
30 back.
Is this affecting our air?
It will be in 20 seconds. Heads up.
You're going to come back up with only one camera.
We can't roll the graphics without the switcher.
Can we route them to the desk monitor?
There'll be hard cuts.
Do it.
Jake plugs the patch. Screens all change to the same footage.
Party and yeah, party and whoa.
Pull your shot back so we can see the monitor.
Mike, go wide and get the monitor.
Will, your graphics aren't going to be full screen. They're going to be on a monitor behind you.
I don't have a monitor behind me.
Turn to camera 3.
In 3, 2.
Now you do.
Dominique Strauss-Kahn had spent 50 days under house arrest, as well as 4 days in jail on Rikers Island. Today, he is free to go home to France. We'll be back after this.
That's optimistic.
Interior bullpen. Mackenzie comes out of the control room.
Good show.
Thanks.
Seamless.
Thank you.
Like running autopilot. I don't even think.
We blew the fact check and there's a virus.
Fix it.
Yeah.
So, you ready for this? Ben Ferrioso bet another embed on the Romney bus that he could jump from the second floor of the Newisha Holiday Inn and land in the pool.
And?
He broke his ankle in 2 places.
These guys are drunk every night.
They're 23. They're on a bus in Nashua. They're drunk in the mornings too. You need to send someone on the road for a couple weeks until Ben can hobble again. Send whoever you want to punish.
Will passes, singing.
Party and whoa.
Can I?
No. You got a minute?
Yeah, I'm just going to change. Remind Sloan we got the draft in 10 minutes.
He exits to his office.
Hey, money skirt.
The day will come.
Sloan has come up behind him, startling him.
We have an HR rep who cares what goes on this floor. And on that day, sir, I will dance upon your grave.
Reciting stock quotes and wearing a skirt.
How much time do I have to formulate a comeback?
That was it. The first thing out of your mouth is the comeback. You wasted yours on a question about comebacks. Fantasy football draft starts in 10 minutes.
I know, I'm the commissioner.
Your parents must be proud.
They are. I was elected unanimously.
You were unopposed, just like when you were elected class treasurer.
That was an important job.
It wasn't.
Why does it have to be like this?
Because you're a nerd, and I'm a nerd, and you make nerds look bad.
No, I make nerds look good.
I've been meaning to tell you you've been doing a perfectly adequate job filling in for Elliot this week.
There's a wire report about a drone strike in the FATA that killed 5 suspected militants.
Excellent.
You heard me say suspected, right?
Talk to your EP.
He exits.
Mac?
Just a minute. Ben Ferruccio broke his ankle.
Is he all right?
No, he's an idiot. But let me know who to put on the Romney bus for a couple of weeks.
I'll check out what people are working on.
Sloan, you want me?
Sloan follows Mackenzie to her office.
MJ,
Yeah,
is your cousin,
crazy?
yeah,
She is.
she's spamming me to death.
Why'd you give her your email?
Jim is eavesdropping on their conversation from his desk.
She asked for it and I thought it would please you. Everything I do, I do it to please you.
She's crazy.
And thanks for the heads up. So what do you want me to do tonight? What would please you? Romantic drink, dancing? Romantic bowling?
What does that look like?
It looks like regular bowling. Walk through the park?
A romantic mugging?
I know how to defend myself.
Do you know how to defend me?
I shout, run! Really loud.
I'll see you at home.
Perfect.
Have a good show.
Yeah, not a chance.
Do a cutesy patty cake thing. Dawn exits. Interior, Will's office. Charlie's waiting. Jenna comes in.
Excuse me?
He'll be out in a minute.
I'll come back.
Do I know you?
I'm Jenna Johnson.
You look familiar.
I just started as an intern.
Say, why is America the greatest country in the world?
Why is America the greatest country?
You're the sorority girl.
That's what I'm most famous for.
You hired her?
I'm benevolent. There we go. Nope. I'm benevolent. There are 8 Broadway musicals that have won the Pulitzer Prize for drama. In 5 minutes, I need you to name them, the composer, lyricist, librettist, and source material, if any.
I need your...
Go.
She goes.
You make the interns learn musical theater history?
You're welcome, America.
Kafadi's done. Gaddafi's done.
Things you thought you'd never see.
I want to talk to you about 9/11 anniversary coverage.
Oh, I like how it's coming along so far. It has a good tone. It looks up.
I'm going to pull you from the coverage. Elliot and Sloan will co-anchor in primetime.
Because Reese got kicked out?
No, it's not Reese.
Leona.
It's me. I made the decision.
All right.
We're going to be officially condemned on the House floor tomorrow.
That's a good use of time.
And Giuliani pulled out.
Yeah?
9/11 windows, first responders.
Some 9/11 widows and first responders.
No, I know. It's the critical mass. The op-eds, the boycotts, the advertisers, Reese getting kicked out of the SOPA meeting, which you know we're going to read about. I just think on this one day...
No, I totally get it.
Okay.
Let me talk to Reese.
It's not Reese.
Leona.
They haven't said a word about 9/11. They've got bigger fish.
For the record, I compared the Tea Party to the Taliban, and we were attacked by Al-Qaeda.
I don't want to ask the people to make that distinction on the 10th anniversary.
No, we've never gone wrong getting our enemies mixed up.
It's just not the day to have the argument.
How do you want to handle it?
You'll get the flu around the 9th or 10th.
Okay.
Listen, they'll do it at your desk under the Newsnight logo, but I'm going to take your name off of it for the night. Contractually, I need your permission. I'm sorry.
Will reaches for a cigarette.
No, man, it's the price of doing business.
For what it's worth, I didn't know you were going to say it, but I was happy when you did.
Me too.
All right.
Don't worry about it, Charlie. I'll see you upstairs for the draft.
All right.
Charlie goes. Will contemplates. Jenna re-enters.
Of the Icing, 1932. Music by George Gershwin, lyrics by Ira Gershwin, book by George S. Kaufman and Maury Reiskind. Fiorello, 19...
All right.
I need your suit.
Yeah.
He hands her the suit and reflects as she goes. Interior bullpen. Maggie approaches Jim's desk.
How's it going?
Me?
Yeah.
Good. I'm just,
Is this brutally awkward?
no.
Because I was thinking that if we could just like say so and name it, then we could go back to the way things were.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't want to go back to the way things were.
I meant being friends and it not being awkward.
It was always awkward. That's the way things were. You want to say it wasn't a big deal. Oh, okay, we're friends, but you're also staff, and at some point, this conversation is inappropriate.
I don't understand what you're saying.
It's only awkward because you want it to be.
That's a big accusation. All right. Let's try again tomorrow.
She walks back to her desk.
You blew the fact check on DSK.
I know.
Okay.
Jim thinks for a moment, then gets up and goes into Mackenzie's office.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Where?
New Hampshire. I'll cover for Ben.
Why?
I've never been on the road with a campaign.
I didn't know you wanted to. Wait 10 months till he's the nominee.
I'd like to go now.
Nothing to cover.
Of course there is.
There isn't. It's the same 3 rallies and 3 diners a day. Ben puts down a stand-up at each of them. When was the last time you saw any of them on the air?
I don't know.
Send Martin.
I'd really like to go.
You're the senior producer here.
That's great.
No, I'm saying you're going to be fighting it out with stringers to get access to low-level stuff.
I know what they do.
Romney's not McCain. If you've got some vision of kicking it in the RV with the candidate,
I don't.
you're going to be bored.
Mac, fire me or send me to New Hampshire. Sorry.
She closes the door.
What's wrong with you?
I just want to get out of town for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you blew it with Will, you went to Peshawar. There aren't any Taliban fighters in Concord. It'll just be 2 weeks. You should bring Derry Dantana up from DC to cover for me.
Jerry's apartment night. Jerry's talking on the speakerphone. He reads a news story from his laptop.
5 suspected militants were killed by a U.S. drone strike in the Fata. The unmanned Predator drone fired 2 missiles at the vehicle driving on a main road in North Waziristan. Is it illegal? Yes. Is it immoral? You bet. Are we going to investigate it? Of course not.
Jerry, you gotta stop driving me crazy with this drone shit. I'm gonna have one target your car.
Phone chirps.
That's my other line. Sorry for annoying you with the news.
He switches lines and picks up the receiver.
Jerry Dantana.
Jerry, it's Mackenzie in New York.
Oh, hey.
Exterior, Will's condo balcony, night. Will is lounging with a glass of whiskey, smoking. Van Morrison's Into the Mystic plays. Cell phone rings. Will answers.
Cats and kittens, grab your mittens. It's Will McAvoy and Van Morrison, taking you through the night and into the mystic.
Interior, Mackenzie's gondo, same time. Mackenzie is in bed on the phone.
Why didn't you tell me?
Intercut with Will.
Let's take some calls. Who do we have on the line, Freddie? It's Mackenzie from Midtown. You're talking to the Nightbird.
Why didn't you tell me you were taken off the 9/11 anniversary?
What are you doing up this late, Mackenzie from Midtown?
Charlie just called me to ask how you were handling it, and I said, handling what?
It was the right thing to do, caller.
Bullshit.
Ooh, Freddie, you better get that 7-second delay.
Knock it off.
Let's not make it a big deal.
You're okay with this?
I am. Can I go back to sleep?
You're in bed?
It's the middle of the night.
Why is there music playing?
Same reason your night light's on right now.
She looks. There is, in fact, a nightlight on.
All right.
All right.
Will hangs up. Van carries us to exterior Holiday Inn, day. Jim drives up and parks. He gets out of the car and jogs to the campaign bus. The Van Morrison continues as an underscore.
Hey, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Are you the lead advance?
Yes, sir.
I'm Jim Harper. I'm going to fill in for Ben Ferruccio for a couple weeks.
How's Ben doing?
His ankle is broken, but he'll be okay. I just drove up from New York. Do I have time to check in and drop my stuff off?
Sure. We'll wait as long as you want.
Thanks.
Jim starts for his car, then stops.
That was sarcastic.
Nah, I'll just tell the governor not to start speaking until you get there.
Got it.
So you're with ACN?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the bus is full today. You'll have to drive.
There's like 40 empty seats.
I wasn't wild about the American Taliban broadcast.
Dude, you can't keep me off the bus just because you don't like our reporting.
I can.
Come on, man. I've been driving all night.
Then you better get some gas. What's Obama got it at? $4.50 a gallon now?
He gets on the bus and the door closes. He addresses the reporters on the bus.
Morning.
The bus leaves. Van swells, meaning Van Morrison. Exterior, the AWM building, day. It's raining. Interior, Mackenzie's office.
You could have checked into the what? You could have checked into the hotel first.
I can do that tonight. You heard about the latest drone strike?
We reported it at 10.
You walk into the bullpen.
Yeah, but that's all we did.
You and Sloan Sabbath are going to get along very well. You're going to meet Will now, okay?
We've met.
He's not going to remember.
They walk into Will's office.
Will, this is Jerry Dantana.
We've met.
Of course we have. How you been, man?
They shake hands. As Jerry explains, Will gives shrugs of, I don't have a clue who that is.
We had a long talk the last time he was in DC.
Great. Jerry's going to cover for Jim for a couple of weeks.
I have no idea why you let him go.
Because I did.
Well, I'm sure Terry's a good guy and
Jerry.
excellent. But I fear change, and that should be respected.
You'll get used to me.
And then Jim will come back and it'll be a hellscape. Why don't we send Harry to New Hampshire?
Who's Harry?
He is.
Jerry.
See what I mean?
No. No one does.
Can I mention something?
Sure.
I think this network should be doing more stories about the administration's counterterrorism policies. And I think while I'm in New York, it would be a good time for me to get it started.
Well, it's actually not a great time for me. But that go-getter initiative you have, I'm not crazy about that either.
Remember that long talk we had in DC?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to lead or do you want to follow?
He wants to follow.
And barely that.
A knock at the door.
Come in.
It's my office.
Sloan comes in with a piece of paper.
Drone strike.
I don't believe this.
Drone strike.
This is Jerry Dantana, who will be covering.
There was another one?
This morning.
What's that you got there?
Drone strike. Drone strike.
Can't understand what you're saying.
You can too understand what I'm... Reuters.
This is what I was talking about.
United States Predator drone strikes on vehicle in northwest Pakistan.
Can I see that?
It's a blank piece of paper. I left the wire report in my office, and on the way here, I decided I wanted a prop.
You didn't think to just have someone print it out?
A lot of better ideas are coming to me as I'm standing here, but why can't we let the past be the past?
It was 12 seconds ago.
2 U.S. officials identified the target of the drone attack as Abu Hafs al-Shari, a Saudi national. They declined to provide
more precise details.
Hold the roll. The government is declining to reveal highly classified intelligence and expose the methods by which we find and kill terrorists? That's just plain wacky.
All this is a press release.
It's a blank piece of paper.
No reporter gets to ask, did we kill any civilians?
Or how does Pakistan feel about us invading their airspace to kill people occasionally?
Or who authorized the strike?
Or who's Abu Hafs al-Shari?
He's the head of Al-Qaeda in Pakistan.
And the commander-in-chief authorized the strike.
I'd like this for my 5 minutes tonight.
It's not an economic story.
Watch me make it one.
It should be a full panel right after A block, where presumably we'll be staying with Libya, an ethicist, a military analyst.
And me.
I'd rather have a human rights expert. No offense.
We're not loading the panel to the left.
Why are we having a panel at all?
I'll take The Economist.
That happened fast.
You can get in touch with Mike Tapley.
I'd like to use a guy named Cyrus West.
Jim uses Tapley for military analysis.
Yeah, I know, but I think you're going to like Cyrus West. He's a retired Air Force captain, teaches in the public policy at the Maxwell School, and he's a hardliner on drones.
You're sure you don't want to use Tapley?
Got to start producing sometime.
All right, start now. We've got a rundown meeting.
As she goes, she glances at Will, who's not thrilled. Jerry goes too.
Drone strike.
Hey, keep your eye on Jerry for me. I think he wants to win a Peabody.
Who's Jerry?
Okay.
Interior bullpen conference room. Staff's assembled. Gary, Tamara, Tess, Martin, Neil, Maggie, and Dawn. As Mackenzie enters with Jerry.
Ben Ferruccio jumped from the second story of a Holiday Inn in Nashua.
I've been in that room. You didn't make it, right?
No, he's out for a couple of weeks. Jim drove up last night to cover for him.
This is news to Maggie.
So say hello to Jerry Dantana, who most of you already know.
Jim went on the Romney bus?
He wanted to go.
Why?
For the experience and to be a team player.
Couldn't you make the argument that he just left the team?
You could. Do you want to?
Not the second, but...
Seriously, what's going on?
Ben Ferruccio broke his ankle. Jim's covering for him for a couple of weeks, and Jerry's up from DC to cover for Jim. He's going to produce a panel tonight in the B or C block. B would be great.
It would be great.
What everyone is asking is why would a senior producer?
No.
4 months before Iowa.
The clock's run out on this conversation. If I'm going to sit in any rundown meetings, they can't be mired in these kind of detours. It's like playing golf behind a foursome of blind people.
Also, Dawn will be in our rundown meetings. Charlie wants us doing more cross-network stories, so think of 10 o'clock as our second act.
Or 8 o'clock as our warm-up.
How should we think about 9?
It's Washington. It doesn't matter. That's not something we think.
On speaker.
Huh? You guys there?
Yeah.
The search for Gaddafi continues.
Journalists and dignitaries are being freed from the Rixos Hotel, and Mustafa Abdul Jalil is offering what amounts to $1.5 million in amnesty to anyone who finds Gaddafi.
Did he call anyone?
Did Gaddafi call anyone?
Jim.
He hasn't run away from home.
Tamara.
He called me last night.
The earthquake was a 5.8, and AP is reporting it caused a crack in the Washington Monument, which will now be closed indefinitely.
What else?
PPP has Rick Perry at 22 and Romney at 19.
Tess?
Steve Jobs is going to officially resign today.
Let's close with that. Martin?
AP's paid $5 billion in claims to compensate victims, and the Deficit Reduction Committee is launching a website for public input.
Public input on deficit reduction. Well, I feel better already.
Anything else?
Yeah.
And are you very sure you want to pitch this?
Yes.
Bring it.
About 11 weeks ago, June 9th, the domain name Occupy Wall Street was registered.
And?
Title, August 24th, 2011.
I believe America is on the verge of starting its own Arab Spring.
Really?
Yeah.
Gaddafi, drones. Let's keep working the others, and I'll make my first cuts at the 2.
Neil follows Mackenzie into the bullpen.
It was registered by Adbusters, and they sent out an email saying America needs its own Tahrir.
We call them elections.
Hang on. On July 13th, Adbusters sends an email to 90,000 people telling them to gather on September 17th. That's roughly 3 weeks from now at the Charging Bull on Wall Street. The email goes viral in 15 minutes. New websites were formed, and there's been instant and substantial support across Twitter and Reddit. August 2nd, they staged their first organizing meeting and have been holding weekly planning meetings, which they call General Assemblies.
They always start by making up a new language.
50 to 100 people have been showing
50 out of an email blast to 90,000?
50 to 100.
And is there a list of incoherent and unrealistic demands?
Just one thing, and it's perfectly coherent. A presidential commission to get money out of politics.
Come with me.
They walk into Mackenzie's office.
Here's a fax I get every day. It's the protests that are going on in New York. Just New York. Today, Jews Say No are protesting the air attacks on the Gaza Strip. Topless protesters are demanding that lawmakers repeal codes against toplessness. On the East River, residents are protesting the building of a high-rise near a soccer field, and union members are protesting the United Brotherhood of Carpenters' new leadership. And at any given moment, a group is protesting ads in the subway, standardized tests, horse-drawn carriages, and fracking. I know how much you want this, and I like how much you're going for it, but you've got to wait until something's real.
All right.
He goes. Interior bullpen. As Neil returns to his desk, Mackenzie comes out of her office.
Neil,
Yeah?
what was it called again?
Occupy Wall Street.
When's the next General Assembly?
Tonight.
You should go.
Sure.
He thinks for a moment, then gets an inspiration, sits and starts typing. Interior, studio/control room, broadcasting. A panel is in session.
A minute ago, your issue was with legality, and now it's with the morality.
I'm able to hold as many as two thoughts in my head at once. The Fifth Amendment.
The Fifth Amendment, like all the other amendments, guarantees certain rights to U.S. citizens. If an American vacationing in the Khyber Pass gets targeted by a predator...
We need to ask, are we creating more terrorists than we're killing? We need to ask.
We don't know exactly what that collateral damage is because of the lack of any transparency or accountability. Now, factor in that the BDA, the Bomb Damage Assessment, counts all military-aged males as militants. But to your second point, the fact that drones are...
Are they cheaper?
I prefer arguing the legality and the morality, but no, they're not.
An F-16 costs $50 million and a drone costs $30.
But we procure drones in large groups of 4, combat air patrols or CAPS. We buy them as a set, so it's 120 million versus 50 million for the Falcon. What we should be talking about...
Costs in terms of human lives.
That's about all I can stand. I've said I can stand and I can't stand no more.
Did you want to jump in, Captain?
I do, because my concern is with the cost of American lives here and in combat. Sloan, you didn't mention that a $50 million F-16 has to be flown by a pilot who's somebody's father, and that he can be shot down by a shoulder-mounted point-and-shoot Stinger. Now, Dr. Cochran, I can appreciate that you're an ethicist, but we don't face an ethical dilemma.
Can a drone distinguish between an Al-Qaeda operative and a goat herder?
I don't care, and neither should you.
Get in there, Will.
And as for the legality, the authorization for use of the military force has passed by Congress.
Ask him if the AUMF said we were at war with terrorists or the Pakistani civilians.
Authorized the president to pursue terrorists with all necessary appropriate force. Drones represent the safest form of lethal action against terrorist targets, period.
It's more complicated than that.
Period.
Ask him about the AUMF.
Wills doesn't respond.
AK and Taliban senior leadership in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Yemen, and the Horn of Africa, period.
Get in.
So naturally, here comes the Human Rights Watch.
AUMF.
He still doesn't respond.
The United Nations Treaty on International Humanism.
The UN gets 4 blocks of free parking on the east side of Manhattan, and that's it.
That's not it.
Period.
We're going to have to end this there. This is News Night. We'll be right back after this.
Mackenzie stands in disbelief.
2:30 back.
I like to use the full range of punctuation, commas, colons, parentheses.
He was trying to get noticed.
No shit.
Why did Will go all quiet? I teed him up.
Will's not your problem. The panel's your problem.
I'll have a word with him. He's very good.
Use Jim's guys.
Yep, I will.
Charlie and Mackenzie share a look. Interior bullpen. Jerry comes out of the control room.
Good?
What was with period?
I meant it.
Sai, you're a little over the top.
Somebody say something? Did Will say something?
No, he's still on the air.
I'm gonna get asked back.
It's not up to me.
All right. I'm gonna give you a story now. I'm gonna give you a name to call, but you have to use me to help you follow it.
What kind of story?
You have to use me to help you follow it.
What kind of story?
The kind that makes careers and and its presidencies.
That's a joke, right?
Look, man, I've been trying to help you, but you've been fucked up since the...
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
Makes careers and ends presidencies.
A black op called Genoa.
Interior Studio, Will Broadcasting.
That's a news night for August 24th, 2011. Terry Smith is coming up next with the Capitol Report, followed by Sloan Sabbath filling in on Right Now. I'm Will McAvoy. Good night.
Lights go down, a moment, then we hear, and clear. Will takes off his earpiece and walks into the outside control room. Mackenzie pushes him against a wall.
You know what? I agreed with everything he said.
How about the way he said it?
It wasn't my style, but
The AUMF, you were able to hear me, right?
there didn't seem to be an opening.
You didn't have a problem making one when you went to break 41 seconds early.
Sorry about that.
She looks at him in disbelief, then pushes him against the wall again and walks off. Herb comes out of the control room with Jake and Joey.
Good show.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good job.
They don't stay to chat. Will is left thinking. Exterior park, night, the Occupy Wall Street General Assembly.
Hey everyone, good to see you. If there are no announcements, we'll get started. No announcements? Okay, I see some new faces, so I have to say up front, no police and no reporters. Everybody?
She sees Neil.
Dude. Dude,
Me?
you're wearing ACN credentials.
Yeah, that was pretty stupid. My name is Neil Sampet. I'm with ACN, and I'd love to observe this meeting.
No journalists, no exceptions.
The others agree, making hand signs like jazz hands.
Do you mind if I ask a question?
Joel makes another sign like a C. Neil gets it, makes the sign.
Question?
Why wouldn't you want to get the word out about the sit-in on the 17th?
I'm John, and we don't call it a sit-in.
Why wouldn't you want to get the word out?
We do, we just don't need your help to do it.
We want to make sure, no offense, our message is clear before it's distorted by the press.
Your message was clear in the email blast. You want private money out of politics.
We want more than that.
We do want more than that.
Can I ask?
He makes the question sign.
Yeah.
Are you in charge?
My name's Shelley, and no one's in charge.
The group agrees. Jazz hands. Interior studio control room. Sloan Broadcasting. Dawn's in the control room.
The findings were bleak, with results showing that less than half of high schoolers were able to correctly identify the century in which the Civil War was fought. 1 in 4 thought Columbus discovered the New World sometime after 1750. And if the Bill of Rights were abolished, a third of high school students wouldn't be able to name a right they just lost. Things get worse in Oklahoma,
Almost always do.
where a majority of high school students failed the test given to immigrants seeking to become naturalized citizens. 3/4 couldn't name the first US president,
Ben Franklin. Nailed it.
and only a third knew the length of a House member.
Note.
That's all for Wednesday, August 24th. I'm Sloan Sabbath, filling in for Elliot Hirsch. Have a good night.
Good show.
We hear a director. We're clear.
You don't have to say it like that.
I said it the regular way.
Interior bullpen. Sloan comes into the bullpen.
Great show.
You saw it?
I've got a DVR. Listen, was Will okay on the panel tonight?
Sure.
You and me.
I don't know why he didn't jump in on the AMUF door the guy opened. I don't know why he didn't cut him off or throw it to the ethicist. He seemed to want to make it clear ACN is anti-terrorist.
Maybe he was just getting out of the way.
Yeah.
John approaches, looking at his notebook. Charlie speaks as he exits.
Good show tonight.
You saw it?
Keep it up.
He looks at Sloan. For a moment, they say nothing. He starts to leave.
So,
But are you talking to me?
yeah.
And you know you're not speaking right now.
When you asked me why I was single and I said it was because you hadn't asked me out, I thought it was my last day.
I know.
And honestly, it sounded like a good line. I hardly ever land those.
I took it as a joke.
You did?
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. All right. All right.
I'm heading home. I've got a 13-day streak going of being a good boyfriend.
What do you get if you hit 2 weeks?
A healthy conscience. I'll see you tomorrow.
He starts off.
See you tomorrow.
Exterior street, night. Neil and Shelley are walking.
Tell me about yourself.
You tell me about yourself.
I run our show's website, and I'm trying to get my EP interested in this story.
Why isn't he interested already?
It's not that she's not interested. She's just waiting for it to happen, and I'd rather get in on the ground floor.
She doesn't like ground floors?
She doesn't think there's going to be a second floor.
Well, that's all right.
I still don't have your last name.
I'm Shelley Wexler. I'm a PhD candidate in anthropology at NYU, where I also teach.
Is this your first experience with activism?
When I was a minor, I was arrested in Seattle at the WTO protests.
And by minor, you mean...
Not Cole. Not Cole. Minor, under 18.
Oh, okay. Were you involved in Seattle? Were you
In the violence? No, I'm nonviolent, as is Occupy Wall Street.
They sit on a park bench. Neil pulls out his notebook.
On September 17th, we want to see 20,000 flood into Lower Manhattan, set up tents, kitchens, peaceful barricades, and occupy Wall Street. Then what?
We stay until our demands are met. The arrest and prosecution of the people responsible for the crash, the formation of a presidential commission to investigate corruption in politics, the ratification of a constitutional amendment outlawing the legal designation of corporate personhood.
You're going to sleep in a park until a constitutional amendment is ratified by 3/4 of the states?
We mean business, Neil.
What's with the hand gestures?
It's a Quaker tradition and a peaceful way of maintaining order when your movement has no leaders.
Doesn't a movement need leaders?
We believe in a horizontal structure.
Are you worried that the horizontal structure is going to give power to people who shouldn't have it?
You mean Joel and John?
Shelley, you started off with one clear and not unreasonable demand, and now you've got like 14 of them, including arresting Bear Stearns and the Lehman Brothers.
Are you doing a story or giving advice?
I haven't been assigned the story, so I'm giving advice. And you can't have a protest unless the media is covering it.
Well, the media is going to cover it, but they're going to cover the drum circles and crunchy, uninformed college kids yelling at the earners, who coincidentally are the guys running Time Warner News Corps and AWM. You don't have the patience for complicated things.
I do.
Then why do you take Wall Street bullshit like limited government seriously? You and I and God and everybody knows that banks couldn't survive until lunch without zero interest loans from the government and bailouts when they bet a hard 8 and lose. There's straight up fraud, and you covered Casey Anthony.
In our defense, we were the last ones to do that.
Well, that's a lame defense. Where was Will McAvoy when Goldman sold its clients mortgage-related securities without disclosing that the hedge fund manager who chose the mortgages was betting on them to fail? Or when Citigroup sold its clients a mortgage fund with securities it knew would fail, so the banks could bet against its customers. Citigroup made $160 million off its investors, losing $700 million. I expect I'll see your cameras the first time girls go wild, but until then, frankly, I just don't trust you to get a fucking story anywhere close to right, especially one with distractions.
I want this to succeed.
And you're on the wrong side of the camera.
Sooner or later, you're going to want us. Go back to one clear message, or you guys are going to be a joke.
You can Bring it up at the next meeting. I'll show you the hand signal.
She walks away. Interior, Dawn's apartment. Maggie's asleep. Dawn's packing in the dark. He walks into a lamp, making a clatter.
Sorry. Go back to sleep.
What's going on?
It's okay.
Honey, what are you doing?
I'm just grabbing a couple of things. I'm going to go out to the Sheraton on 7th Avenue, okay?
What?
It's all right.
No. What's going on?
I don't want you to get upset.
Wait, did you just say you're going to a hotel?
Yeah, I called Lisa. Everything's fine.
Wait.
You can move back into your old place, but I figured it'd take a few days, and I wanted to give you some room.
You have to slow down and tell me.
I came home, and you were asleep, and I was at the computer for a little while, and I got an email. Your cousin sent me an email with a link to your YouTube video.
What does YouTube have to do with what's going on? Why are you going to a hotel?
Dawn goes to his laptop and presses play.
Why are you packing? Slow everything down so I can...
It's the video of Maggie's rant.
Writing her 800-word column for a newspaper no one's ever heard of, but I just spent my last $7 having a fight with my best friend who, by the way, isn't available at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday to console me about some guy because she, too, has a job. And mostly, when you fall for a guy and he's going out with your best friend, it doesn't work out. Things get really...
She stops the video.
Shit. Just stand there, okay? Because this isn't what it looks like.
He starts to laugh.
Why are you laughing?
You can't laugh at this. I mean, if I weren't a cast member in the story, I'd think it was pretty funny. It's on YouTube, Maggie. You're a news producer. You don't think on a busload of tourists somebody wasn't going to record that?
Please let me explain.
Nah, I spent this whole time thinking I was a bad guy for not being in love with you. It turns out...
Don't say that.
I know that Jim was on the thing, and he heard you say all that.
My cousin told you?
She doesn't like you. And she had a crush on me. She's going to get married and stab her husband one day, but that's besides the point.
Lisa?
I didn't tell Lisa about the video. I just told her it didn't work out. You should call Jim. Tell him to get off the fucking bus. We're trying to do the news.
I should be the one to leave. Come on, I should really be the one to leave.
Take it easy, Maggie.
He leaves. We stay for a moment with Maggie. Interior, Hong Chu, which is a karaoke bar. Will sits at the bar. Mackenzie enters, comes to Will and slaps him upside the side of the head.
Why'd I get hit in my head?
I want to pursue drones.
You won't catch them. They fly pretty fast.
Yeah.
The bartender, Tia, approaches.
Jameson rocks?
Thanks.
I don't think there's an immoral way to kill terrorists.
There's an illegal way, and we're doing it.
I don't care.
Because you were taken off the 9/11 anniversary coverage? Yeah. I knew you were upset.
Of course I'm... Are you kidding me? I'm flipping out.
Tia turns. Mackenzie gets up and walks to a more private area. Will follows.
Holy shit, Mac. What the fuck did I do?
I know. It feels bad.
I used to be exactly the person that you wanted to see in these moments. And I don't mean the old days.
I know.
Like a year ago.
You still are.
I remind people of the enemy? Jesus.
Every blonde-haired guy from Nebraska reminds people of Muslim extremists. There's nothing you can do.
Don't try to make me laugh.
You can blame it all on me.
If there was a way to blame it on you, don't you think I would have done that by now? I've got Roger Daltrey screaming, you better, you bet in my ear.
Why?
You better, you bet. It's about a really... No British rock.
Why can't there be British rock?
No. K-N-O-W. No British rock. When I say I love you, you say you better. You better, you bet.
Why is Daltrey screaming that in your ear?
It feels like the relationship I have with the audience. You can't believe what this feels like.
As a matter of fact, I can.
I got that.
Did you? Were you really in bed when I called last night?
Yeah.
It's Pete Townsend.
Townsend wrote the song. Daltrey's singing it. When does Jim come back?
Couple of weeks.
Oh, what can possibly happen in a couple of weeks?
Let's finish our drink.
Goes back to the bar. He follows.
When I say I love you, you say you better? That person's just mean.
Are you able to notice the irony?
I see the irony.
He finishes his drink.
I'm going to pay for these. She'll take the Jameson to go. I don't really mind how much you love me. A little is all right.
You get that in a completely different context. Roger Daltrey could be me, what I would sing.
You're saying it works on different levels?
Your relationship with strangers or my relationship with you?
The first one.
I don't think either of us have the first idea what that song's about. AUMF. I've never seen you leave a rebuttal that fat on the table. I don't care whose side you're on.
I know.
Don't do it again. And I can pay for my own drinks, pal of mine.
Fine.
Damn right, that's fine.
I said fine.
I left my purse up at the office.
He gives his card to Tia.
And I'll need some cash for the cab.
He gives her a bill.
And for the cab tomorrow morning.
He hands over his wallet. She takes several 20s. Interior conference room. Mackenzie sits across from 4 lawyers.
Yeah. If Ben Ferruccio hadn't broken his ankle, if Jim hadn't gone to cover for him, if Dantana hadn't come up to cover for Jim, if Mike Tapley hadn't been on the panel instead of Cyrus West, if I'd caught it before instead of after, God damn it! You know, nobody believed Genoa at first. It was impossible to believe. But piece by piece, the evidence started coming in, and suddenly it was impossible to deny. It was the biggest thing any of us had ever touched, including Charlie. It was the Pentagon Papers, and we were the only ones who had it. We average about 1.5 million viewers. Genoa got 5.5 million. It was the most viewed program in the history of cable news. So yeah, definitely. If Ben Ferruccio had landed in the pool instead of on the pavement, we wouldn't be talking right now. And Will wouldn't be standing out in the hallway. He's there, right? It's because I'm in here. He's worried he got me in trouble and not the other way around. And you've got to admit, for a guy who lives to be liked by the audience, he lets us put his life in danger a lot. When I was little, I asked my uncle how much a lawyer costs. He said, if it's bad, 300 pounds. If it's really bad, 400 pounds. And if it's really bad and you're guilty, how much do you cost?
$1,500 an hour.
That's bad. Underscore. The Who's You Better, You Better, You Bet.
It's after midnight. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. Can you grab some more coffee? We ran out a while ago. State your full name and current occupation, please.
Mackenzie Morgan McHale. I'm the executive producer of Newsnight with Will McAvoy.
And when did you start at this job?
The associate exits to corridor, where we find Will and Maggie sitting on the floor outside the conference room. Music. The Who continues. Blackout. End of show. Yay. Amazing job, everybody. So I realized that we lost some people along the way, but can I take a photo? So everybody smile. Everybody turn your camera on and then everybody smile in that order. Beautiful. Well done, everyone.
You guys rock. I have to bounce and go hang out with the kids.
Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Tell them the whole
Rebecca. I gotta get going as well. This was a lot of fun. Thanks.
So hard to tell who's talking. Was that Marlo?
Oh, that was Marlo.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks
for being here.
Thanks. It was a lot of fun. See you next time.
I'm gonna go grab some dinner.
Bye. Whoever said that. I'm gonna say a general goodbye to everybody who's